Hello there. My name is Beth Green, otherwise known as Granny Rocks.
And my name is James Maynard, otherwise known as Sweet Baby James. And you have come to Lighting the Way, Granny Raps and Rocks, where Granny shares her wit, her wisdom, and her very uncommon sense. And please chat with us so that Beth can have an opportunity to chat directly with you, live in person.
Exactly. If you are live in person, then I can actually verbally talk to you. But if you're coming after the show, you can still put in your comment, but I will respond to you after the show via Facebook, through the comments, through the chat. Oh my God. Is this what I'm going to be like tonight? Okay, the topic for tonight is how much energy do we have? And what should we do with it? So this is actually a very challenging topic for me.
Oh, for
And
all of us, I'd
when,
say.
yeah, I think so too. And when the topic occurred to me, I thought, oh my God, I don't know. How am I going to say anything about this? But at least I can explore some ideas. And there is something that came in loud and clear, but I'm not going to say it right away. So try not to guess it on the way. Like some of you, like Amy, always gets ahead of me. So I'll tell you what I'm going to say when I say it.
And by the
Okay.
way, Kat says hello and sends a heart of love and musical notes and a flower.
Oh, thank you, Catalina.
Thank you,
It's good to
Kat.
see you. Good to see you. So, first of all, obviously, how much energy do we have? So, if you're a relatively healthy young person, you probably think you have a lot of energy. I was never a healthy young person, so I really don't know what that feels like. But when I saw people, the way they behaved, I thought they're not afraid to do stuff. But I was always kind of sick, so I didn't have a lot of energy. But I could see other people did. But things happen in life, you know. We have children, and they take up a lot of energy, don't they?
They do.
Relationships, jobs, obligations of all types, taking care of elderly parents. All of these are demands on our energy, and for many of us, our energy starts to tank. Maybe not immediately, but eventually. However, even for those who are still young and vibrant, the demands on our energy are so tremendous. And for many of us, also, we care about our communities, our world. You know, there are so many things that our church or our spiritual organization or our kids' friends, and I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Well, and since I've always had chronic fatigue, I never had not always, since 1992, but that's a long time. But I'm getting even more tired with age, and so it's really in my face. So I have to be honest with myself. But even if you have a lot of energy, you still should listen to this show and think about what I'm saying. Seriously. So, how do we normally decide what to do with our energy? Well, when we're kids, we don't have a lot of freedom to decide that. Like mom says, make your bed. Wipe those dishes. Do your homework. Practice the piano. Go out and play. get your father home
Go to
from
school.
get your father home from the bar. Go to school. There's a lot of things that people are doing with their energy that they're being told to do by parents, or they feel something like, oh, grandma looks so sad, maybe I should sit with her and talk to her, or and all. But even so, as kids, if we have a lot of energy, there may be things that we are allowed to do that we enjoy. So we put our energy into playing chess. I was never good at that.
Playing sports.
Playing sports. Maybe studying.
Playing child games.
Playing the piano. When I was young, I played the piano until I was 15 when I became disabled. And so I had to stick in my half an hour a day practicing because I was always tired and I couldn't manage more than that. So we have a certain amount of latitude as kids. We don't have some of the responsibilities that we get later, but we don't have that much power over what we do because we're always said we get to school and this teacher says, open the book, read this, do this, do this. We don't like it. No, we want to be free. But many of us are never actually trained to think about how we use our energy because we're being told what to do with our energy.
So true.
Can you see if there's any more comments? Nope. Okay.
No new ones.
We have viewers, but not comments, which is fine. Oh,
wait a
yes,
minute.
we do.
Here we. Oh my word! There's quite a few. Island says, "Good evening, my sweet
Well,
ones."
oh,
and she sends so
Island.
much love and
Thank
caring.
you.
Thank you, Island. Blanquita says, "Hello, Beth and James," and sends 2 hearts of love.
Hola,
Muchas
Blanquita.
gracias.
Muchas gracias.
And Elizabeth says, "Hi there," and she sends a heart of love and caring.
Hearts
Island
back.
has a comment. My energy level is much lower in my old
Yeah.
age.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Todd says, "Hello, Beth and James," and sends 3 hearts of love. Thank you. Back at you.
Thank you, Todd.
Oh, Island says body pain too.
That's right.
Karen says, "So good to see you both again," and she
Thank
was
you.
there live with her concert.
Yeah, we had a
Sunday.
concert on Sunday in Eugene, Oregon.
Yeah.
It was great, and it was great seeing and meeting Karen in person.
Yes. Island says, "I want to stay home all the time."
Me too. I understand that. Whereas, when we're kids, we want to go out. We want to go out. Now can I just go to bed? But anyway, we still have to face this question, what are we supposed to do with our energy? Am I supposed to become a gourmet chef, or am I supposed to eat frozen food, or am I supposed to make healthy dinners, or am I supposed to just stuff myself with crap because it doesn't take any energy? There are so many in every moment. Do I put my energy into the garden? Do I volunteer at the local Kiwanis Club? Do I care about global warming? Should I go out there and start marching? Should I pick up the abortion fight? What should I do? Should I ask my daughter to move in with me? Do I have enough energy to put up with her? She needs a home. Or, should I adopt the children that are being abandoned? Or should I have a dog? And how much?
And am I in the right job, or am I wasting my energy?
Am I in the right job? Okay. Should I do this for a friend? Should I join a group at school just because all the popular kids are doing whatever is in there? Is that really what I'm supposed to do with my energy? Should I go to college? There's a lot to decide, and it's all about how we expend our time and energy. And as we get older, we realize it's more about energy than it is about time, because we have more time than energy. And boy, anyway, maybe when you're young, you have more energy than time. I don't know, as I say. So do you see what I mean? And so many of these decisions are made by conventional thinking. Oh, I'm supposed to take care of my elderly parents because they took care of me. And what kind of a person am I going to look like? Oh, shit, I don't want to take care of my mother. I hate her. No, I can't look like that. I can't look like a person who would do that. Should I go to church every Sunday? I was told that I would go to hell if I didn't, or my neighbors are going to notice that I'm not there, or I mean, with so many things are coming from, we just do it automatically. Oh, one of the things that always made me crazy is how much time and energy women would put into their appearance before they went to work. So here it is, you're exhausted, you're getting up at 5 in the morning to put on your makeup and put on these tight clothes and these high heel shoes and all of that. And that takes time and energy, plus you're uncomfortable all day, which steals time and energy. But why are we doing that? I mean, where did that come from? So are we trying to impress somebody, or are we trying to make ourselves feel better? Where so many of the things that we do with our energy, it's like, why do we make those choices? Is it the way we look to others, the way we look to ourselves? Oh, well, one of the things we're doing with our energy, many of us, is working for a living. I don't feel like I have a lot of choice about that. Fortunately, as a counselor, I have wonderful clients and I love my work, but sometimes I just want to go to bed and sleep for the rest of my life, but I can't do that. So there's a lot of force inside, external. Oh, the rent went up, or my water bill just went up, my electric, now I've got to make more money, I've got to, I can't do this anymore. Do you
how
feel?
many people have to take a second job, when
Oh
the
my
prices
God.
go up? And
Or
inflation?
come home and take care of their kids, and then you say, okay, well, instead of taking care of my kids all the time, I go and I get a job where I can pay someone else to take care of my kids sometimes, but I am still expending energy to have the money. It's like I don't want to cook, so I'm going to go to a restaurant. Means I have to expend energy to earn the money to save the energy from cooking.
That's right.
So it feels like there's a lot of oppressive have-tos when it comes to the way we are spending our energy.
Yeah.
And then there's the issue of I want to. I want to play the piano. I want to knit. I want to help people. I want to volunteer at my kids' school. Even if I'm retired, there are things that I have to do. I have to pay bills. That takes time and energy. So where is us regulating the flow of our energy? So the first thing that I want to say is we should look at how we spend our energy and ask ourselves, why are we choosing the things that we are already choosing? And should we? Oh, I can't disappoint so-and-so. I said I would come out and visit them this summer, and I have to do it. Well, maybe when I said it, I was feeling better, or I had more money, or I was trying to get away from my husband, or, there could be a million reasons. So we have to be conscious and keep asking ourselves, why did I choose to do this? Why am I continuing to choose to do this? But this is the point that I want to get to, that I really never thought of before tonight, which may mean that I am particularly retarded.
Oh.
Maybe you have thought about this before. How many things do we do that take energy but don't give anything back, energy-wise? I mean, for real. I mean, what energizes you? And sometimes that's something you love doing, or that people appreciate and they give you energy through their love and appreciation, or it's some experience that you really feel uplifted by, and that gives you energy. How many things have I done that depleted me of energy? Even though I was sick, I didn't really protect myself because I wasn't that kind of a girl, right? I almost never say, what am I, I'm not saying what am I getting out of it, like prestige or money. I mean, am I getting energy from doing this? No, you think, well, What kind of a crazy idea is that? Of course, you go to work, you're going to be tired when you come. Well, there are certain things that we do that actually energize us and that regenerate us. Well, I think most of us think of regeneration as something that we do after we get home. When we lie down on the couch and have a beer or a glass of wine, which does not regenerate us, by the way, or eat food that gives us the momentary high, like a sugar high, which does not regenerate us. How many things that we do actually regenerate us? And do we ever think about it in those terms? I don't think I have. I've always done things because I thought I should. And should means, well, I thought I should because I absolutely had to, like I had to find a way to make a living. But also because I felt a passion for a certain cause. I felt that I needed to serve God or I needed to serve the community. And those are wonderful things, but I didn't ask myself, was this taking away more energy than it's giving back? Now, does that mean that if we follow that guidance and we start looking at what is giving us energy, that we won't get tired? No. Does it mean that we won't get old and cranky and even more tired? No. And so, in the process of living, we all spend energy. You have kids and you want to take care of them and you feel that you need to, and that takes a lot of energy, especially if you're a grandma taking care of your kids. But how much can you do that before you deplete yourself completely? See, we don't think about how much energy we are expending on things and whether they are actually healthy for us to do, whether they regenerate us. And what's the result of that? Isn't it obvious that you can't keep taking money out of the bank without putting more in? What happens? You're bankrupt. So, certain things that seem very important to you or me or this one or that one at the moment, how much energy is this going to cost? Oh, I want to take a trip. I want to travel. Well, at our stage of life, traveling takes way more energy than it gives us. Okay, wonderful. I went to see the waterfall, and that gave me a lot of energy, but it didn't give me nearly as much energy as it cost. I want to have a musical career. I love it. It makes me feel good. It energizes me, but how much energy is it costing to get that energy? So I'm not telling you what to do. I'm saying we need to start thinking about this in a very clear way. In our world, there are so many demands. So many. And now somebody says, I should be growing my own food, right? There are so many things I should be doing. It's like the doctor says to me, Beth, you should go see a specialist because you have this or that or the other thing. And I know what's going to happen. I'm going to go to that doctor. They're going to put me through these tests that are going to exhaust me. And then they're going to come up with some medication that I'm allergic to and that I can't tolerate anyway.
So all of it is a big waste of energy.
It's a big waste of energy. I'm going to give you an example. It's kind of funny. We lived upriver, and it was about an hour, more than an hour, to get to the emergency room, to the hospital. And I fell and I broke my arm. And I didn't know that I broke my arm, but I knew I had hurt myself. It was pretty bad. It was this one, the humerus. And so I didn't go to the doctor. The paramedics came, got me off the floor, put me in bed, and gave me a big handkerchief, and we made
a
a sling
sling.
out of it. And so it turns out that I'd broken my arm, and later on I took X-rays and all that. Okay. Now, 10 months later, I fell and I broke my other arm, the same humerus, right? And it was like, I should go to the hospital. I would get a much better sling. And it was true. I did get a better sling. I went to the hospital. I took this horrible trip in this bumpy ambulance. It took an hour and a half to get to the hospital because they had
After it taking an hour just to get to you to get to
right.
take you to the hospital.
So it was a 2.5 hour wait on the ground for them to get me to the emergency room, where they x-rayed me and told me I had a broken arm, which I already figured because I knew what it was like the last time. They gave me a better sling. And it was miserable. I was in agony because they kept doing these tests and I couldn't take the pain medication and all of that. And I laughed. So the first time I didn't go to the hospital and I thought that was bad. Second time I went to the hospital and I thought that was worse. So it's kind of a funny story, but what should I have done? I was going to be miserable anyway. I wish that I had just stayed in bed. So everybody has their own stories, their own versions of things that they've done that they thought they were doing to help themselves that didn't really help. So it's what should I be using my energy for? I can tell you, it's wonderful to do what you're passionate about. It's great when you can make a living so you can pay your bills, because it takes a lot of energy to be homeless. Oh my God, and just to survive on the street, I can't even imagine what people go through who are homeless. And it's kind of nice for people like us to be able to pay somebody to clean our house, since we can't do it, so we need money to save the energy that we cannot expend because I can't do anything physical. So there's always these, should I do this? Should I do that? Will the money give me what the energy, whatever. But bottom line, and I do believe in doing what makes me happy. What do I really want to do? And sometimes we do things that we know are going to kill us, and we do them anyway. And when I say they're going to kill us, I mean they are going to rob us of energy, but we have chosen to make that experience. But I don't want us to do those things without thinking. And there's a lot of things we do which we could stop doing or make different choices if we were not so pulled and obliged and shamed and guilted and trying to follow traditional things. No. We really need to look carefully. And you guys who are young, if there are any young people who watch the show, you would be surprised. You go out there binging and drinking and drugging and all of that, it's going to catch up with you. And you're going to pay for it later. I know you've heard it a million times. But I'm telling you that it will. And you have to ask yourself how much of your life force you're squandering on things that you shouldn't. And so today, I came to the conclusion that I need, at my late age of 78, to start thinking about getting regeneration from the things that I do or not doing them, because you can bankrupt yourself very easily. If you bankrupt yourself of your good life force and energy, you are going to be vulnerable emotionally as well as physically. When you're strung out, you're not thinking straight. So ask yourself, is it really important to put on that outfit in the morning, or put on your makeup, or do your hair? Or would it be better
We have a couple of comments here.
not to?
Island says, my sad thoughts can deplete my energy.
Oh, absolutely true.
Oh, yeah, we
Yes.
know that one. And Vasily of Ukraine says, good morning, my tireless friends. Glad to see and hear from you.
Yeah, Vasily. That's
you.
very funny. He read the translation. Tireless, tired would be more like it. But you're right. I mean, I'm always pushing myself. Yes.
And Blanquita sends a big heart of love.
Thank you. Thank you. So I hope that people are understanding what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. It's very clear.
And how often do we actually look at the cost of what we're doing? So let's say you are getting up at 5 in the morning to make yourself look gorgeous for whatever reason. So you go someplace, so somebody will say, "Oh, you look gorgeous," and your feet hurt. And at the end of the day, you're exhausted because you hurt all over, and you lost 2 hours sleep to do something that you didn't really need to do. And ask yourself how that is impacting you physically, how that is impacting your brain, your thinking, and your emotions. You know, one thing that many of us do is we get overtired and then we get grumpy. People say, why are old people so grumpy? Well, not all old people are grumpy, but one of the reasons that old people can get grumpy is they're tired. And you just don't have a lot of resources left over. So that's it. So please like and love this show and share it with your friends. And don't forget to come back every Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time to watch Lighting the Way, Granny Raps and Rocks, where I make commentary and play the piano at the same time. And that's Wednesday nights at 6:30 p.m. And Thursday night, 7 p.m. Pacific time. We do Magical Improvs with Beth Green and co-host James Maynard. And, you know, in many, 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 many years, I never missed a show except when we were evacuated and had no internet or cell service anywhere. And somebody said, well, Beth, why don't you cancel if you're tired? And I laughed. And then, oh, if I didn't do anything every time I didn't feel well, I would do nothing. And that's the truth. So I'm saying there is another side to that. There's something that makes me happy about the things that I do. However, and so that's important because that can also regenerate us. I usually feel better after I get here than when I was lying in bed before saying, oh God, how can I go on? So I get something from this. It regenerates me. Cuddling, going and being in nature, sitting by a stream, those things are regenerative. If the activity that we do doesn't regenerate us, we have to take the time to regenerate afterwards. But it's even better if we learn how to regenerate while we're doing something or do something that regenerates it ourselves all the time. So I better shut up because it is time for us to go. So please, again, like, love the show, follow our page, come back soon and share. And if you're coming later, please share your thoughts in the comments.
Very good. Ditto, ditto, Xerox.
All right.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Glad to have you with us.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.